people misunderstand to be homosexuality, which is not true. Gender identity disorder means a female trapped in a male's body, meaning that the body is of male, the feelings is of female, or the body is of female and the feelings is of male. This is called gender identity disorder, and it is listed separately in the comprehensive textbook of psychiatry, whereas homosexuality was listed separately. Many a times the argument occurs, how many homosexuals are there in the society? Many gay rights organization claims that there are 10 to 20% of homosexuals around the world, meaning out of the 6 billion population, more than 1 billion, that is 100 crores, are homosexuals according to them. But according to the statistics given by Lawman and colleagues, which was done in United States in 1994, according to them, 1.3% males and 2.7% females had accepted that they were involved in same sex practice in last 1 year. The other study by the same people says that 1.4% males and 2.8% females confirms that they are homosexuals, meaning that they had given the confirmation as an identity that they are homosexuals. So saying that 10% homosexuals are there around the world or 20% homosexuals are there is nothing but exaggeration. Hardly 4% homosexuals are there. That too, the research was done only in United States, not in other countries of the world. If you analyze, what is legalization? Legalization in simple word means giving permission, promotion and regulation to any activity, like the share market in our society. The government has given the permission to the share market, the government regularize it, and the government promotes it, meaning that the full backing of the government is there to that activity. But what the homosexual organizations are today demanding is not actually legalization of this activity, but decriminalization. There is an Article 377 in our Constitution which says that any person who is involved in homosexual activity will be punished with 10 years imprisonment. So what the gay rights organizations are demanding, that decriminalize this activity so that we can fully get involved in it according to our choice. They are not actually demanding legalization. They are demanding decriminalization. Leave alone homosexuality. There are many things in the society which are good but cannot be legalized. For example, in our hospitals, we have paramedic staff who assist the doctors in their practicals. This paramedic staff is so expert in their work that they can give run to the money of any new rookie, any new doctor. They are so expert in their work. Does this mean that the Medical Council of India should legalize the practice of that paramedic staff? No, it can't be done, because for doing the practice in a professional manner, one has to complete studies till graduation. One has to complete his graduation in medical science. Then only he can be eligible, or she can be eligible for practice. This indicates that there are many things in the society which cannot be legalized, even though they are good. Homosexuality is a debatable talk. I am talking about the things which are beneficial for the mankind. Still, we can't legalize. for analyzing anything in the human society, whether it is good or bad, there is a process called risk-benefit ratio. This risk-benefit ratio will help us analyze that whether any particular thing is good for us or bad for us. Even the medical science nowadays works on a concept called EBM, evidence-based medicine. The rule of this evidence-based medicine is anything which is having more risk and very less benefit should be discarded, should not be used. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confirms this thing in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 219, that though intoxication is having some benefits, but it involves more risk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that benefits are very less, risk is more, because of that alcohol is prohibited. In the same manner, today medical science works on the same formula taken from the Quran, that if the risk is more and the benefits are less, then don't take it. The second rule of EBM is, if the risk and the benefits are somewhat equal, parallel, then okay, fine, it is acceptable. Take it. The third rule is, if the risk is very less and the benefits are like anything more, then it is recommended, it's very good. On this particular concept, we select anything or we reject anything. If you analyze, the human society is complex and depends on various dimensions. Our society is dependent on various dimensions, like the medical dimension, the economical dimension, the social dimension, the political dimension, the religious dimension, the ethical dimension, the moral dimension, etc., etc. Today, here in this lecture, we will be analyzing three dimensions of the human society. That is, the medical dimension, the economical dimension, and the social dimension. That if at all this homosexuality will be legalized, what will actually happen to the human society medically, economically, as well as socially. Why I have taken only these three dimensions is because these dimensions can be evaluated scientifically. The moral, the ethical, the religious dimensions cannot be evaluated scientifically. We don't have a meter or a unit to judge how morally a good person is or how ethically a good person is. So today we will be analyzing the medical, economical and social dimensions because these can be evaluated scientifically. If you analyze, the human society is divided into a particular hierarchy. First comes the humanity, the whole world, people of whole world. Then comes a particular community. Then comes a particular family. Then comes an individual. Islam gives this hierarchy to us. That anything, if it is good for the humanity, then you should consider it. If it is bad for the humanity and good for a community, don't take it. If anything bad for a community and good for a family, don't take it. If anything good for a individual and bad for the family, don't take it. Example, I will try to explain in a simple manner, that there is a Pahalwan living in a family, and whatever the milk comes, that builder, that Pahalwan, he drinks the complete total milk of the family. It is good for the health of the builder, but it is not good for the family because they are not getting any milk. Likewise, recently in Bihar, after the floods, the cows which were subsidized by the government was acquired by the families of certain ministers. Might be acquiring cows made for the poor. is good for the family of the ministers, but not good for the community. So they should not do it. In the same manner, we know that in early 20th century,